Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be grieved, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we, wisest sorrow, think on him together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress of this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with mirth and funeral and with dirge and marriage, in equal scale, weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all our thanks. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is Laertes?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France, for once thou willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in coronation. Yet now, I must confess, that to be done, my thoughts and wishes bend again towards France, and bound them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
Hath my lord brought me from my slow leave, I laborious and petition, and at last upon his will I seal of our consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine. Thy best graces, spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son.
Little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thine ivory colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Thou knowest 'tis common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be why Saints is so particular with me.
Seems, madam. Nay, it is, I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of horse breath. No more the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected behavior of the visage, together with all forms, moons, and shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem for their actions that a man might play, but I have that within which passes show. These are the trappings and suits of all.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know your father lost a father, that father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persever in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified or mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. Fie! It is a fault to heaven, a fault against the dead, a fault to nature, to reason most absurd, whose common theme is death of fathers, and who still have cried from the first course, to he that died today, this must be so! We pray you throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father shows his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire. We do beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her purse, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come.
This true solid flesh would melt, thaw, fall and resolve itself into a duel. But that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie upon it, 'tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely, that it should come to this! For 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king I was to this Hyperion, to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not between the winds of heaven visit her face, too roughly. But whom in earth must I remember? Why, she should hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month. Oh, let me not think on it! Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, or ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body. All tears. And she. Even she. God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer. Married? With my uncle? My father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. A little month, Harriet, the salt of most unrighteous tears, had left a flushing in her gallant eyes. She married. Most wicked speed, to post to such dexterity, to incestuous sheets. It is not, or cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship!
Oh, I'm glad to see you, my lord, or I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, your poor servant ever.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. And what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus and Bernardo.
My good lord, my good lord.
I'm very glad to see you, but what did they make you from Wittenberg?
A true disposition, good my lord.
I would not hear your enemies say so. I know you are no truth. But what is your ferret, Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart, huh?
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I pray you, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it falls hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats and coldly furnished forth the marriage tables. I had let my wits go in heaven, or ere I had seen that day, Horatio. My father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
Aye. I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man, taken for all alone. I shall not look upon his life again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king? My father?
Seizing your admiration with the intensity of I may deliver upon the witness of these gentlemen this marvel to you.
For God's love, let me hear.
2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch in the dead waste of the middle of the night, been thus encountered a figure like your father, armed at point exactly appears before them, and with solemn march goes slowly and stately by them. Twice he walked by their oppressive fear surprised eyes within his country place, while they, distilled almost rebellion with active fear, stand dumb and speak not to him. This to me in part forbid, and died with him the 3rd night kept watch. The apparition comes. I knew your father, and these hands are not more like.
But where was this? My lord, upon the platform where we walked. Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none. Yet once we thought it lifted up its head and it addressed itself to motion as it were to speak, but even then the morning cock crew loud, and The sound shrunk in haste away and vanished from our sight.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live, my heart, Lord, 'tis true, but he thought it written down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed, sirs, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight.
We do, my lord.
He was armed, say you, armed,
my lord.
from top to toe.
My lord, from head to foot.
Then saw you not his face.
Oh yes, my lord, he wore his visor unbuckled, frowningly,
Frowning,
countenance born solemn and angry.
pale or red,
Yea, very pale.
fixed his eyes upon you.
Most constantly.
Oh, would I have been there?
And would have much amazed you.
Very like, very like. Stated long.
As one would mutter in haste, my tell 100.
Longer.
Not when I saw him.
His beard was grizzled.
Oh yes, my lord, and I seen it in his eye with sable silver.
I would watch tonight, perchance we'll walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it. Though hell itself should gapely bid me hold my peace. I pray you all, if you hitherto conceal this sight, let it be tenable in your silence still. Whatsoever else shall have to give it an understanding, but no tongue. I will requite your loves. So fare you well. Upon the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your loves is mine too. Farewell. My father's spirit? In arms? All is not well. I suspect some foul play. Would the night were come. Till then, sit still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefits and convey assistance, do not speak, but let me hear from you. For Hamlet, and the trifling of his favor,
Holding a fashion and a toy of blood, a violet in the youth of primy nature, the forward not permanent, sweet not lasting, the perfume is something, some of it no more.
No more but still.
think it no more. Nature crescent does not grow alone in hues and bulk, but as this temple waxes, the inward surface of the mind and soul grows wide withal. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor hollow doth besmirch the virtue of his will, but she must fear. His greatness weighed, his will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth, and he may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself. For on his choice depends the safety and health of this whole state. Therefore must that choice be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body, whereof he is the head. Then, if he says he loves you, fix your wisdom so far to believe it. Labored loss your honor may sustain, if to credence ear you list his songs. Or you lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, Ophelia. Fear it, my dear sister, and keep it in the rear of your affection, out of the shot of danger and desire.
I shall be affected this simplicity, and watch into my heart. But good, my brother, do not with some ungracious pastures do show me the steep and thorny way to heaven. Us, like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of valiant treads, heeds not his own advice.
Oh, fear me not. I stay too long, but here my father comes.
A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion smiles upon a second leave.
Get here, Laertes! Aboard, aboard for shame! The wind sits upon the shoulders of your sail, and you are stable. There, my blessing with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory. Look thou carefully. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any mental portion thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, and their adoptions tried, grapple them unto thy soul with hoops of steel, but Do not dull thy calm with entertainment. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit, as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims the man, and they in France of the most best rank and station are the most select and generous chief in that. Neither borrower nor lender be, for loan not loses both itself and friend. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
I invest you. Go, the servants tend.
Farewell, Ophelia. Remember well, I have said to you.
Tis in my memory lost, and you yourself shall keep it nearly.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
So please you, something touching Lord Hamlet?
Mary, well bethought. 'Tis told me here very oft of late, given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. If it be so as search is put on me in that way of caution, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly as it behooves my daughter and your honor. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection. You speak like a green girl, and sit in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Mary, I will teach you. Think yourself a baby. Oh, that you have taken these tenders for true pay, which are not served. Tend yourself more dearly, or not crack winds and poor phrase ringing it thus. You tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion,
Aye, fashion, you may call it. Go to.
and hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springes to catch woodcocks. I do know when the blood burns out, prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. These blazes, daughter, giving more light than heat, you must not take for fire. From this time, be something scanter of your maiden presence. Set your entreatments at a higher rate. For Lord Hamlet believes so much in him that he is young, and with a larger tether may he walk than may be given you. In few, Ophelia, do not believe his vows. I would not, in plain terms, have you so slender any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
Shall obey, my lord.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. 'Tis not fit thus to abandon.
Have after. To what issue will this come?
There is something rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will direct us.
Nay, let's follow. Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak, I'll go no further.
Long me. I will. My hour is almost come when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Poor ghost.
Pity me not. Or lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So ought thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the days confined to fast and fires. To the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. If thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge is most foul and unnatural murder.
God, murder!
Murder is in the best of days. It is most foul, strange and unnatural.
Hasten me to know that either wings as swift as meditation or thoughts of love may sweep to my revenge.
I find thee apt. Now, Hamlet, here, 'tis given out that sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me, and so the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death, greatly abused. But know thou, noble youth, the serpent did sting thy father's life, now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle!
I, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wits, with traitorous gifts to seduce, won through his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. But virtue, as it never will be moved, though Luna's court in the shape of heaven so lust, soon to a radiant angel linked will sate itself on a celestial bench and prey on garbage! Soft. Methinks I sat more in air. Brief let me be. Sleeping in my orchard, upon muster hour thy uncle stole with juice of pressed poison in a vial. In the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distillment, who hold such an attraction with blood of man, that swift as quicksilver it courses through the natural gates and alleys of the body. And with a sudden vigor it doth curd like eager droppings into milk, the thin and wholesome blood so did mine. Most lays alike with vile and loathsome crust all my smooth body, but sent to my account with all the imperfection on my head. Oh, horrible. Oh, horrible. Most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. Take not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once. Remember me.
Holy host of heaven! Oh, earth and what else? Shall I couple hell, fire? Hold, hold, my heart, renew my sinews, grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember thee? Yes, by heaven! Oh, most pernicious woman! Oh, villain, villain, smiling, damned villain, that one may smile and be a villain! At least I'm sure it may be so in Denmark. So, uncle, there you are. And now, it is to my word. It is adieu, adieu. Remember me. I have sworn it.
My lord, my lord!
Lord Hamlet!
What news, my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lord, tell it.
No, you will reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heavens.
You'll be secret?
Not I.
There's ne'er a villain dwelling in all Denmark, but he's an errant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Why, right. Right, you're in the right, therefore, without more circumstance at all. I hold it fit to shake hands and part. I will go pray. Touching this vision here, it is an honest ghost, let me tell you. Give me one poor request.
What is it, my lord? We will.
Never to make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear
In
it.
faith, my lord, not I.
Upon my sword.
My lord, we have sworn already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed.
Sayest thou so? Art thou there true penny? Come on, weird this fellow. Consent to swear.
Hold the oath, my lord.
Never to speak of this that you have heard. Swear by my sword. Come hither, gentlemen, and lay your hands again upon my sword. Swear by my sword never to speak of this that you have seen. Swear by my sword.
Swear by his sword.
All day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
Swear.
Rest! Rest, perturbed spirit! gentlemen, though my love, I do commend me to you. The time is out of joint. Cursed spite, that ere I was born to set it right. Nay, come, let's go together. Now, Ophelia, what's the matter?
My lord, I have been so frightened.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all embraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled and guarded to tow give to his ankle, pale as his shirt knees, knocking each other, and with a look so piteous and purport, as if he had been loosed out of hell. To speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow, he falls to such a perusal by faces he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last, a little shaking of my arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. Done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find a way without his eyes. For out of doors he went without their helps, and to the last vented their light on me.
Come, I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property fordoes itself and leads the will to desperate undertakings as oft as any passions under heaven that does afflict our natures. I'm sorry. What? Have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and deny his access to me.
Oh, that had made him mad! I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I did not observe him. I feared he did but trifle and meant to rack thee. Come, go we to the king. This must be known in which, being kept close, might move more grief to hide the hate such a love. Come!
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you, the need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation, so call it. What it should be, more than his father's death, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both that you rest here in our court some little time, to draw him on to pleasures, to gather from him what afflicts him thus, that opened lies within our remedy.
Good gentlemen, you have much talk. Sure I am two men is not living to prove me more news. If it would please you to show so much gentry and goodwill as to expend your time once a while, the supply and profit of our hope will be completion shall be such thanks as fits a king's remembrance.
Both your majesty's might, by the sovereign power you have with us, put your dread pleasure in what's commanded to entreat you.
But we both obey, and here to look ourselves at the whole bit. To lay our service freely at your feet to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz. And gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern, and gentle Rosencrantz. And I beseech you to instantly visit my too much changed love.
Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and noble.
Ah, I know.
Thou hast been the father of good news?
Have I, my lord? I assure my good liege I hold my duty as I hold my soul to my God and to my gracious king. And I do believe I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
Sure, it's no other but the pain of his father's death and our own hasty marriage.
My good liege and madam, to expostulate what?
Meanwhile, day is day, night is night, and time is time, or nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore,
Since brevity is the soul of wit and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad, call I it! For to define true madness, what is it to be nothing else but mad? Then let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. But he's mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity, 'tis true. A foolish figure, but farewell, for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then, and thus it remains that we find the cause of this effect, or rather say the cause of this defect. When this defective comes by cause and thus remains, and the remainder thus. Pretend. I have a daughter. How long is my doing her duty and obedience mar has given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial my soul rider, the most beautifying Ophelia. Oh, that is an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. But you shall hear. Thus, in her excellent white bosom, these, etc.
Give this from Hamlet to her.
Madam, stay while I will be faithful. Doubt that the stars are fire. Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. Oh, most best, believe it, adieu. Thy nevermore most dear lady, as this machine is to him, Hamlet. This in obedience hath my daughter shown me, and so hath his solicitings, as they found by place, by means, by time, all given to mine ear.
But how hath she received his love?
What do you think of me?
As of a man faithful and honorable?
I would fain prove so. But when might you think, when I had seen this hot love in the wing, as I perceived it, I must tell you that, when my daughter told me, what might you, or my dear majesty, your queen here, think if I had laid the desk or table book, or given my heart a winking, mute and dumb, or looked upon this love in idle sight? What might you think? No! I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy star. This must not be. And then I gave her that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messenger, receive no tokens. Thus, she took the fruits of my advice, and he repelled. A short tale to make, fell into a sadness, thence into a fast, thence into a watch, thence into a weakness, and thence into a lightness, and by this declension until madness, where now he raised and all we mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be. Very like.
Hath there been such a time, I would fain know that I had positively said 'tis so, when it proved otherwise.
Not that I know.
Take this from this, if this be otherwise. But if circumstances lead me, I will find the truth is hid, though it were indeed hid within the center.
How may we try it further?
You know how he walks for hours here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arse, then mark the encounter. If he love her not, or be not from his reason fallen thereon,
We will try it.
But look, let's that be before that comes for you.
away, I do beseech you, both away. I'll board him presently. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God have mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent well. You are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I wish you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
I, sir, for to be honest as this world goes, to be one man, think out of 10,000.
That is very true, my lord.
For if the sun bring maggots in a dead dog, being a good kissing carrier. Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but as your daughter may conceive a flame. Look to it.
What say you by that? Still harping on my daughter, but he knew me not first. He saw her as a fishmonger. Oh, he is far gone. And truly, my brave suffered much surely to love. Very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord? Words? Words? What's the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Oh, slander, sir, for the tale of the rogue says here that old men, gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging, thick amber, and tree gum, that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hands, all which serve I most powerfully and potently believe, though hold it not honestly to have it thus set down. For yourself, sir, shall grow as old as I am, if, like a crab, you could go backward.
This be madness, yet there is refuge in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is as to the air. How pregnant sometimes replies are. A happiness and often madness hits on, in which reason and sanity could so prosperously be delivered on. I will leave him, and suddenly contrive a means of meeting between him and my daughter. My lord, I will take my leave of you.
You cannot take from me anything I will not more willingly part with all. Except my life. Accept my life! Accept my life!
You go to seek the Lord Hamlet. There he is!
His teeth so thin. God save you, sir. My honored lord, my most dear lord. My excellent friend! Oh, how dost thou, Guildenstern, our rose in krantz? Good lads, how do you both?
As the indifferent children of the earth. Happy in that we are not overhappy. Unfortunately, Cap, we are not the very good.
Nor the soles of her shoes.
Not my lord.
Ooh, then live you about her waist, or in the middle of her favor.
Say no privately.
In this dear parts of London, oh, Master, she is sister of What news?
None, my lord, but the world has grown honest.
Then is doomsday near. But your news is not true. What have you, my good friends, deserved to have the fortune that she sends you to prison thither?
Prison, my lord.
Denmark said prison.
Then is the world one.
A goodly one in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons. Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then it is none to you. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
God, I can be bounded in a nutshell and trust myself a king of infinite space. Or not that I have bad dreams.
Which dreams indeed are ambition. For the very substance of the ambitious is merely the shadow of a dream.
A dream itself is but a shadow.
Truly. And I hold ambition so airy and light poverty is but a shadow.
Then, our regular fathers, and our monarchs, and our outstretched heroes, the beggars, shadows, showing to the court, for by my faith I cannot reason.
We wait upon you.
But no such matter. I will not sort you with the rest of my servants, but to speak to you like honest men, I am most dreadfully attentive. But what in faith make you from Wittenberg?
To this you, my lord, no other occasion.
Beggar that I am even born in thanks. But I thank you, and sure, dear friends, my thanks are too dear half penny. Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Does it breed hesitation? Oh, come, you just came with me. Come, nay, speak.
What should we say, my lord?
Well, anything but to the purpose. You were sent for, there is a kind of confession in your looks, which your majesties have not crafting up to color. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. But let me conjure you more in particular whether you were sent for or no.
What say you?
Nay, then, I have an eye of you. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for.
I have offense. Wherefore I am not lost all my mirth. Forgone all custom of exercises. And indeed goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly friend, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, there, look you, this brave overhanging firmament, this majestical roof, fretted with golden fire, why, It appeareth to me nothing. Infinite in faculties, and form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god! The beauty of the world, paragon of animals, and yet to me, what is this quintessence of dust? And the lights not me. No, neither the lights finally seem to say so.
My lord, there was no such step in my thought.
Why did you laugh when I said, man, the light's not me?
Just think, my lord, if you like not man, what lantern entertainment the players are. We observed them on the way, and hither are they going to offer you service.
Well, what players are they?
Even those you are wont to take such interest in.
The tragedians of the city. Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. You are welcome, but my aunt, mother, and uncle, father are deceived.
In what, my lord?
I am but mad. North. West! When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw. We'll be with you, gentlemen. Hark you, that great baby is not yet out of its swaddling clothes.
Happily, he is the second time comfortable. This here old man is twice as tall.
I'll prophesy, he comes to tell me of the players. Mark you. I guess it was a Monday morning. 'Twas then indeed.
My lord, I have news to tell you. The actors have come hither, my lord. Upon my honor.
And then came each actor. On his ass!
The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, pastoral historical, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, scene, indivisible, nor poem unlimited. Seneca cannot be too heavy, nor Plautus too light. For the law of wit and liberty, these are the only men.
Why, what a treasure hadst thou!
What treasure had he, my lord?
Why, one fair daughter, the which loved passing well.
Still my daughter.
Am I not in the right, old man?
If you call me old man, my lord, I'll have you know I have a daughter whom I love passing well.
You are welcome, masters, welcome all. Oh, old friend, why thy face is balanced since I saw thee last, and my lady and mistress, thy ladyship was nearer to heaven than when I saw you last. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
Speech, my good lord.
I heard him speaking his speech once, but it never was acted, or if it was not above once, for the play I remember pleased not the many. It was called it an honest method, as well as mean sweeted. I very much more handsome than fine. Good, my lord, will you see the players are well bestowed?
I will use them accordingly.
Come! Follow that gentleman there. We'll have a play tomorrow night. Can you hear me? Can you play the murder of Gonzaga? I don't know. We'll have it tomorrow night. You could for need study speech of some dozen lines or 16 lines which I would set down and insert in it. Could you not? I like it. Excellent. Follow that gentleman there and look you. Mock him not. Gentlemen, I will leave you tonight. You are welcome to Elsinore. Good, my lord. This is most grave. But I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven in hell, must like a whore unpack my heart with words, full of cursing, like a very drab, fire upon it, about my brain. I've heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck so to the soul, the
presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder hath no tongue, and speak the miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before my uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tempt him to the quick if he do but blench. I know my course. The spirit that I've seen may be the devil. The devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, accuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
And can you by no drift of conference get from him why he puts on this confusion, grating so harshly all his days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause he will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him to be sounded, whom the crafty madness keeps aloof, when we would bring him on to some confession of his true state.
Did he receive you well?
Most like a gentleman.
But with much forcing of his position.
Did you say him to any pastime?
Madam, it so fell out that certain players before off the way. Of these we told him that it had seemed him a kind of joy to hear. They are hereby before him, as I think they have already ordered this night to play before him.
'Tis most true when he beseeched you to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear it so inclined. Good gentlemen, give him a further edge and drive his purpose into these divides.
We shall, my lord.
Leave us too, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither that he, as for by accident, may hear affront Ophelia, her father and myself, and so bestow ourselves, if seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge, and gather by him as he has behaved, to be the affliction of his lover know that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey. And for your part, Ophelia, I do hope your good beauty will have a cause of Hamlet's fondness. So shall I hope your virtues will bring him to his wonted grave. Hold your honors.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, what you here? Gracious, so please you, we will bestow ourselves. Read on this book, to show such an exercise may color your loneliness. We're oft to blame for this. 'Tis too much proved that with devotion, visage, and pious action, we do sugar over the devil himself. I hear him coming. Withdraw, my lord.
Or not to be. That is the question.
Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles in my posing, and to die, to sleep. No more in my escape to save me in the heartache and 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. It is a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, chance to dream.
There's the run.
For we have sleep of death. What dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, thus give us pause. Where's the respect that makes calamity of so long life? With barely whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office and the spurs, the patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might as quiet as mate with a fair bodkin. Who would these mortals bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? The dread of something after death. The undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns. Puzzles the will and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all. Thus, the native view of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pitch and moment with disregard, the currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. It's soft you now, the fair Ophelia.
Nay, but thy our sins beyond my sins, remember.
How does your honor for this many a day?
I only thank you. Well. Well. Well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have long longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
Oh, mother, I never did you.
My honor, lord, you know right well you did. With them, words of so sweet breath composed as did make these things more rich. The perfume lost, take these again. For to the noble mind which gives wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord.
Are you fair?
It means your lordship.
If you be honest and fair, your honesty should give no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than your honesty?
Aye, truly, for the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a god than the force of honesty could translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord. You made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived!
Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself a different honest, but yet I can accuse me of such things that it were better that my mother had not born me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my back than I have thoughts to put them in, time to act them in, or imagination to give them shape. What should such fellows as I do crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves, believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where is your father?
At home, my lord.
Let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heaven!
If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plate for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery. Oh, if thou wilt needs marry, marry a fool, for wise men know well what monsters you make of them.
Heavenly powers restore him!
I have heard your paintings well enough. God has given you one face and you make yourself another. You jig and you amble and you lisp and you nickname God's creatures. They make want to guess your ignorance. I'll no more on it. It has made me mad. I say, we shall have no more marriage. Those that are already married, all but one, shall live. The rest shall stay as they are. To
memory go, and quickly too.
What a noble mind is here, overthrown. And I, ladies, most rejected and wretched. Such the honey of his music vows. Now see that noble and whose sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled out of time and harsh. That unmatched form and stature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. What was me? See what I've seen. See what I've seen.
Love, his affections do not that way tend, nor what he spake, though it lacked form, that it was not like madness. There's something in his soul o'er which his melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the disclose of the hatch will be some danger, which for to prevent I have quick determination thus set down, he shall with speed to England, whereon his brain still beating thus puts him from fashion of himself. What think you want?
Shall do well, but yet do I believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. Oh, how now, Ophelia. You need not tell us what the Lord has said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you please, but if you hold it fit, after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him. And I'll be placed, so please you, in the ear of all their conference. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you have it, as many of our players do, I have his lip, the town crier spoke my lines. Or do not sob here too much with your hand lust, but use all gently. For in the very torrent, tempest, and as I may say, whirlwind of your passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that should give it smoothness. Oh, it offends me to the soul to hear a robust, terribly grim fellow tear a passion to tatters, to very rags, to split the ears of the groundlings who, for the most part, are capable of nothing but inexplicable dumb shows and noise. I have such a final whip for overdoing it. Pray you avoid it.
I want your honor.
Be not too tame, but let your own discretion be to you. Suit the action to the word to the action, with this special observance that you overstep not the modesty of nature. For anything so overdone is from the purpose of playing, whose end both at the first and now was, and is, to hold as 'twere the mirror up to nature, to show virtue, her feature, scorn her own image, in the very age and body of the time, his form and present. Now this overdone, or come tardy up, will make the unskillful laugh, cannot but make the judicious grieve, the center of the which runs to your allowance, our way up all theatre of others. Oh, there be players that I've seen play, and others praise, that I'm not to speak it profanely, but having neither the accent of Christian, nor gauge of Christian, pagan, nor man, have so strutted and bellowed that I have thought some of nature's journeymen had made men, not made them well. They imitated humanity so abominably.
I hope we have performed that indifferently, sir.
Go make you ready. My lord, will the king hear this piece of work? And the queen too, and that presently. Will you bid the players make haste? Will you too help to hasten them?
I, my lord.
What ho, Horatio?
Your sweet lord at your service.
Horatio, thou art e'en as just a man as e'er my conversation coped withal.
Oh my dear lord.
Nay, do not think I flatter. Give me that man that's not passion slain, and I will wear him in my heart's core. I, in my heart of hearts, as I do thee. Something too much of this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene in of it comes very near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death. I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe my uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen, and my imaginations are foul. Give him heedful note, for I, mine eyes, will rivet to his face, and after we will both our judgments join in censure of his seeming. Well, my lord, they are coming to the play. Get to a place. I must be idle.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent in faith. Of the queen's dish I eat the air. Mousetrap. You could not be capable, sir.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, my man. My lord, played once in the university, sir.
That did I, my lord, and was accounted a good actor.
What did you enact?
I did not Julius Caesar. I was killed in the capital. Brutus killed me.
It's a brute pardon to kill so capital a calf there. Be the players ready?
Aye, my lord, they stay upon your patience.
Come hither, my good Hamlet, sit by me.
Oh, no, good mother. Here is metal more attractive.
And how do you not that?
Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Do you think I'm in country matters?
Speak nothing, my lord.
That's a fair thought to lie between maids' legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are married, my lord.
Who, I?
Aye, my lord.
God, you're only jig maker. What should I do but be married? But look you, how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis twice 2 months, my lord.
So long. Well, let the devil wear black, for I'll have a suit of sables. Heavens, died 2 months ago, not forgotten yet. Then there's hope a great man's memory may outlive his life half a year.
For us and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
Prologue of the Posy of a Ring.
'Tis brief, my lord.
As women's love.
30 dozen moons with borrowed sheen. About the world have time 1230s been, since love our hearts and hymen did our hands, unite commutual in most sacred bands.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us count again till our love be done. Where love is great, the littlest doubts are fear. Where little fears grow great, great love grows there.
Faith, I must leave thee, love, and shortly too. My operant powers their functions leave to do. And thou shalt live in this fair world behind, honored, beloved, and happily as one kind for a husband shalt thou.
Oh, confound the rest! Such love needs be treason in my breast. The second husband let me be accursed. None wed the second, but who killed the first.
That's wormwood.
The instances that second marriage move are base respects of thrift, but none of love. A second time I kill my husband dead. The second husband kisses me in bed.
For I do believe you think what now you speak, but what we do determine oft we break. So think thou wilt no second husband wed, but die thy thought when thy first lord is dead.
Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife. If once I be a widow, ever I'll be a wife.
If she should break it now.
'Tis deeply sworn. Sweet, leave me here a while. My spirits go dull, and fain I would beguile the tedious day with sleep.
Sleep rock thy brain, and never come mischance between us twain.
Madam, how like you this play?
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Oh, but she'll keep her word.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in it?
No, they be but jest. Poison in jest. No offense in the world.
What do you call the play?
The mousetrap. Oh, this is one Lucianus, nephew to the king.
You are as good as a course, my lord.
I can interpret between you and your love and see puppets dallying.
You are keen, my lord. You are keen.
It cost you a groaning to take off mine again.
So better and worse.
So you mistake your husband. Oh, come, Luther, leave thy damnable faces and begin.
Thoughts black, hands out, drugs fit in time agrees. Thou mixture rank of men at least collected, thy natural magic on dire property, on wholesome life.
You, sir,
Immediately.
He poisons him in the garden for his estate. He shall see anon as a murder against the love of Gonzaga's wife.
King rises.
What's frightened with false fire?
How fair, fellow.
Give me some light!
Over the plain!
Away!
My lord, let the circuit here go with the heart unguarded plain. For some must watch while some must speak. Thus runs the world away. Oh, good Horatio, I'll take the ghost words for 1,000 pounds. Didst perceive?
Very well, my lord.
Upon the top of the poisoning.
I did very well know.
Council music, come the recorders.
Good, my lord. Give me a word with you. The queen, your mother, in most great affliction hath sent me to you.
You are welcome.
Nay, good, my lord. It is not of the right breed. If it should please you to make me a host and answer my part, and your return shall be the end of my business.
Sir, I cannot.
What, my lord?
Make you a wholesome answer. My wits beseech but such answer as I can make, or rather, you command me to say, or rather, my mother, you say.
Then thus she said, your behavior hath struck her into amazement.
Oh, wonderful son that can so astonish a mother.
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed.
I shall obey. Were she 10 times our mother? Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you must in luck.
And you sit by these seekers and stealers?
Good my lord, what is your cause for this temper? You do surely bar the door upon your own liberty when you deny your griefs to your friend.
Sir, I lack advancement.
How can that be? We have the voice of the king himself for your succession in Denmark.
Aye, sir, but while the grass grows, it proverbs Let me see one. Jimmy Drop. Why do you go about your cumberland as if you were to drive me into toil?
Oh, my lord, if my duty be too bold, my love too unmanly.
I do not well understand. You beg on this topic.
My lord, I cannot.
I pray.
Believe me, I cannot.
I do beseech you.
I know no touch of it, my lord.
It is as easy as a lion. Govern these entities with their fingers and thumbs, give it breath with your mouth, and it will discourse most eloquent music. Look you, these are the stuffs.
But these cannot I command to any utterance of harmony. I have not the skill.
Why, look you how unworthy a thing you make of you. You play upon me.
His blood. Do you think I am easier to be played upon than a pipe? Call me what instrument you will, though you fret me, yet you cannot play upon me. My lord, the queen will speak with you presently. My lord, do you see that yonder cloud that's almost in the shape of a camel? By the mass, and 'tis like a camel indeed. No, methinks 'tis like a weasel. 'Tis backed like a weasel, or like a whale. Very like a whale. And then I will come to my mother by and by. You say so. By and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. Now, the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and Hamlet self breathes contagion into this world. Now could I drink hot blood, and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. But softly now, to my mother. O heart, lose not thy nature. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none.
you, I, your commission, will forthwith dispatch of you to England, shall along with you.
We ourselves provide, most holy and religious, where it is to keep those many bodies safe that live and feed upon your majesty.
The single and peculiar life is bound with all the strength and armor behind, to keep itself from annoyance, but much more than spirit upon whose wheel attends and rest the lives of the
Arm you, I pray you, to this speedy voyage, where we will fetters put about his fears, which now goes too free-footed.
We will haste us.
My lord, he is going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras I'll convey myself to hear the process. A warrant shall tax him home, and as you said, and wisely was it said, be there more of an audience than a mother, since nature makes them partial, should overhear the speech of vantage. I'll call you ere you go to bed, and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank! It smells to heaven! And at the primal eldest curse upon a brother's murder! Pray can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. What? This cursed hand thickened in itself with brother's blood. Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? What form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder. That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the effects. In the corrupted currents of this world, offenses gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft is seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. It is not so. Above there the action lies. There is no shuffling, oh wretched state! Oh bosom black as death, oh lying soul, which struggling to be free are more engaged. Help, angel! Make us say! Bow stubborn knees, and hawk with strings of steel, the softest sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well. Now might I do it? Now he's a prey. And now I'll do it. And so it goes to heaven. And so am I revenged. And so am I revenged. Kills my father. Without I may fall thought to this same villain send to heaven. To take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and sees it for his passage. No. Oh, sword, know thou art more hard empty. His drugs, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, that they must burn, or about some acts that has no relish of salvation in it. Then prick him, so that his heels may kick at heaven, and his soul be as damned and black as hell. My mother stays. My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go. Hamlet will come straight. Look you later. The tale of his pranks has been too broad to bear with, and that you Ophelia has stood and screamed between much heat and him. I'll silence me even here. Pray you be round with him.
Oh, Lord. Bring it up. Let's go.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Has thy father much offended?
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer, and I will tell you.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgotten me?
No, no, not so. You were the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, now, set those to the kennel.
Come, and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass, where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me.
How now, a rat? Dead for a ducat.
Nay, what hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this?
Bloody deed, almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
Aye, lady, 'twas my word. Wretched, rash and duty, fool! Farewell. I took thee for thy better. Peace to thee, wringing of your hands, and let me wring your heart, for so I shall if it be made of penetrable stuff.
Why me, what have I done with that devil? Why at thy tongue and nose so rude against me?
Such an act that proves the grace and blush and modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, and takes off the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love, and sets a blister there.
What acts that thunder so loud and rolls in the index?
Look here, upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow, Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove, where every god had seen the satyr to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain lead to feed and batten on this morn? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love for your age the heyday, and the blood is tame. It is humble and waits upon the judgment. But what judgment would step from this to this? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight, ears without hands or eyes, smelling sounds, all. Where is thy blush? The belly is hell, the tongue has rebelled in a matron's bones. To flaming youth let virtue be as wax, and rent in her own fire.
Speak to me no more. Under my eyes, over my very soul, and here I see the black and great spots that will only fifty.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honey in making love over the nasty sty.
No more! This word like daggers into my ears. No more, sweet Hamlet.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your preceded lord, a vice of king.
No more!
King of shreds and patches, who saved me, cover her with your wings, you heavenly guards. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Do you not come here, hardy son, to chide that lapsed in time and passion lets go by the important acting of your dread command? Who say,
do not forget, this visitation is but to what thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. No step between her and her fighting soul. Conceit and weakest body, strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is with you, lady?
Last house with you. Should you bend your eye on vacancy? In corporal air to hold discourse whereon do you look?
On him, look you, how pale he glares!
Oh, do you speak this?
You see nothing there!
Nothing at all, yet all that is I see.
Nor did you nothing hear?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Look how it steals away! My father, it has happened as he lived! Look where he goes, even now, out of the portal!
This is the very coinage of your brain.
My pulse is yours, the temper to keep time. It makes us helpful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test in either matter ruby words, which madness would gamble from. Mother, for love of grace, confess yourself to heaven, repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the leaves to make them rancor.
Oh, that was cut my heart in twain.
Throw away the worser part of it, and live the purer with the other half. Good night. But go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. Refrain tonight until and a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy, for use almost can change the stamp of nature, and either quell the devil or throw him out with wondrous potency. Brother, good night. And for this same Lord, I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so, to punish me with this and this with me. I will bestow him, will answer well the death I gave him. One word more, good lady.
What shall I do?
Not this by no means that I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed. Pinch wanton on your cheek. Call you his mouse and let him for a clue. Breathe cheek kisses or paddling in your neck. With his damned fingers make you to ravel. All this matter out. That I essentially am not in madness but mad in craft. For good to let him know that the queen, fair, sober, and wise, with such dear concernings hide.
Thou assured words within a breath and breath of life. I have no life to breathe without said to me.
I must to England, you know that.
I had forgotten. Just so concluded on.
And my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will adders bane, they bear the mandate. They must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work, for I will delve 1 yard below their vines and below them at the moon. Brother, good night. This counselor is thou most secret, most still, and most grave. He was in life a foolish, prating name. Come, sir. The draught toward hand with you. Good night, mother.
There's matter in these sighs, these profound heaves. You must translate. 'Tis fit we understand them. How does your son?
I no longer I have seen tonight.
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Man, as the sea and wind was both contended fighting. So long and sit behind the arms, there is something stir which out of radiance. There's a rat, and in his frightish apprehension, kills the unthinkable man.
Oh, heavy key! It had been so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, shall this blood deed be answered? It will be laid to us whose providence should have kept short, restraint, and out upon this mad young man. Yet so much was our love, we would not see what was most fit. Where is he gone?
Oh, what the body you have killed.
Gertrude, we will ship him hence, and this vile deed we must with all our majesty and skill both countenance and excuse. Ho! Yielding, sir! Friends, you both go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet they have dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel and bring his business. Come, Gertrude. Oh, Call up our wisest friends and let them know of what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Hamlet! Lord Hamlet!
So, who calls on Hamlet? Oh, here they come.
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust where to 'tis kin.
Tell it where it is, that we may bear it thence and take it to the chapel. Do not believe it. Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel, but not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge, what replication should be made by the son of a king?
Take it before a sponge, my lord.
I, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities? But such officers do the king best service in the end. He keeps them, like an apple in the corner of his jaw, first mouthed, to be last swallowed. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I'm glad of it. An English speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, tell us where the body is, that we may bear it thence and take it to the chapel.
The king is with the body, but the body is not with the king. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord!
Of nothing. Bring me to him.
I have sent to seek him and to find the body. How dangerous it is, this man goes loose, yet we must not put the strong law on him. This sudden sending him away must seem deliberate cause. Come now, what hath befallen?
With the bodies stood, my lord, we cannot get from him.
But where is he?
God, my lord, to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us.
Oh, bring me the boy.
Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper?
At supper. Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain congregation of politic worms are eaten. Your worm is your only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar is but variable service. 2 dishes but to 1 table, that's the end. A man may fish with the worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that hath fed of that worm.
What dost thou mean by this?
Nothing but to show how kingly your progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither to see. But if your messenger find him not there, go to seek him in the other place yourself. But if indeed you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs and into the lobby.
Go seek him there.
He will stay till you come.
Hamlet! This vile deed, which we do for your own safety, which we do tender for that, which we grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee with fiery quickness for England.
For England?
I, Hamlet!
Good.
So it is if thou knowest our purposes.
Come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
Father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh.
So,
My mother.
come for England! Follow him and put tempted and speed aboard away for everything is sealed and done at freeways. England, if my love thou holdest in aught, is my great power thereof may give thee sense. Letters congruing to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England! For like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me.
I think there might be some. I'm not being sure. Yet much unhappy.
'Twere good she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds.
Let her come in. My sick soul. As sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great event. It's full of artless jealousy, its guilt. Spills itself in fearing to be spilled.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? His cockle hat and staff and his sandal shone.
Last sweet lady would report for this song.
Say you! Nay! Pray you what? He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grasping of dirt, at his heels a stone.
Nay, Ophelia!
Pray you what? White as shroud as the mountain snow.
Alas, look here, my lord.
Clouded with all sweet flowers, which protected the ground, did not go with true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
Will God save you? You say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God get your table.
Conceit upon the father.
Pray, let's have no words of this, but when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, and all in the morning betime, and I am in at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose, and donned his clothes, and opened the chamber door. Let in a maid, let out a maid, never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia.
Indeed, without an oath will make an end on it. By kiss and by St. Charity, alack, and by for shame. Young men will do it to make them do it, by cock they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumble me, you promised me to wed.
How long hath she been thus?
He answers, so when I come by yonder sun, thou hast not come to my bed. I hope all will be well. We must be patient. Oh, but I cannot choose but to weep. To think that they were laid in the cold ground. My brother shall know it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night. Sweet ladies, good night. Good night.
Follow her close, give her good watch, I pray. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief that springs all from her father's death, and now behold, Gertrude. Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son gone, and he most violent author of his own just removed. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment. Her brother is in secret come from France with pestilent speeches of his father's death.
What noise is this?
Attend! Guard the door. What news?
Save yourself, my lord. Young Laertes in a riot's head obeys your officers. We bow to call him lord. They cry, choose we. Laertes shall be king. Caps, hands, and tongues applauded to the clouds. Laertes shall be king. Laertes king.
Cheerfully on the false trail they cry. You false Danish dogs.
Sir, stand all now.
I pray you give me leave. Oh, thou vile king, give me my father!
Calmly, good Laertes.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
How came he dead? I will not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. Let come what comes. Only I'll be revenged most thoroughly from my father.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father, is't writ in your revenge you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
I am guiltless of your father's death and am most sensibly in grief for it.
Oh, he to dry up my brains. Tears 7 times salt without the sense and virtue of mine eye. Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Oh heavens, is it possible should a young maid's wits be as mortal as an old man's life? Say nature 'tis fine in love, and where 'tis fine it sends some precious instance of itself after the thing it loves.
Lord, and bare faced on the bier, and in his grave, made many a tear. Fare you well, my love.
Hadst thou my wits and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
Oh, how the riddle becomes it! It is the false steward that stole his master's daughter. There's rosemary, that's for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember. There's pansies, that's for thoughts. Fennel for you, and columbines. There's room for you, and there's some for me. We may call it herb of grace on Sundays. You may wear your robe with the difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say you made a good one.
Thoughts and afflictions, passion, hell itself, which turns to favor and prettiness.
And will he not come again? And will he not come again? No. No. He's dead. Go to my deathbed. He never will come again. He's gone. He's gone. And we cast away moan. God have mercy on his soul!
Do you see this?
Laertes, I must commune with your grief or you deny me right.
His means of death, his obscure funeral. No trophy, no sword, nor hatchman over his bones. No noble rights, nor formal ostentation. Cry to be heard, as from heaven to earth, that I must call it into question.
And so you shall, and where the offense is, may the great axe fall. I pray you go with me.
God bless you, sir.
God bless thee too.
A shout, sir, and please something. There's a letter for you, sir. It came from the ambassador of Stamford, England. If your name shall be Horatio, which I'm to let know it is.
Horatio, when thou shalt overlook this, give this fellow some means to the king. He has letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail in the grapple, I boarded them. On the instant they got clear of our ship, I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldest fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb, yet are much too light for this letter. This good fellow will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell, he that thou knowest thine, Hamlet. Come, I'll give you way for these your letters and do it expedient that you may direct me to Hamlet.
So have I, a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, but my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeves for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beards be shook with danger and think it pastime. I loved your father. How now, what news?
This is my lord, from Hamlet. This to your majesty, and these to the queen.
From Hamlet. Who brought them?
A sailor, my lord. They say I signed him.
Laertes, you shall hear, leave us. High and mighty, you shall know that I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet, what should this mean?
Know you the Hamlet?
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked. In the postscript here it says alone. Can you devise him?
I am lost in it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth. Thus didst thou.
Be so, Laertes. Will you be ruled by me?
I, my lord? So you will not overrule me to a peace?
Thine own peace. If he be now returned, I will work him to an exploit. Now write in my device, the which he shall not choose but call. And for his death, no wind of blame shall breathe, even his mother shall call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled. I would rather you devised it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. Laertes, was your father dear to you, or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Hamlet comes back. What would you do to show yourself your father's son indeed more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returns shall know you are come home. Will set those on shall praise your excellence with the rapier. He will wager over your heads. He, free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited and requite him for your father.
I will do it. And for that purpose I'll learn my sword at much unction unmounted and so mortal that but if the knife in it were it draws blood, nothing can save that thing from death that is but scratched with all. I'll touch my point with this contagion that if I guard him slightly, it may be death.
If this should fail, our purpose should have a backward second that might hold up. Let me see. I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry as make your bouts more violent to that end, and then he calls for drink, I'll have preferred him a chalice whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. But stay. What noise?
Model, turn upon another skill. Yes, they follow. Sisters, Stroud Laertes. There is a willow that grows by the brook. There with fantastic garlands did she make of nettles, purples, feathers, and about crowded weeds. There is to hang and envious sliver from down. Her weedy trophies and herself fell in the winking brook. Her clothes spread wide and murmured like a while they bore her up, which in time she chaunted snatches of old lots as one incapable to move her own distress, like a creature native and endued into that element, but long it could not be. Before her garments heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch her melodious lay to muddy death.
Lastly, she's drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Poor Ophelia. I forbid my tears. Until, my lord, I have a speech of violent vain grace. But that is folly granted.
Let's follow Gertrude. Oh, how much I had to do to calm his rage. Now this, I fear, will give it start again.
Is she to be buried in Christian burial when she willfully seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is. Therefore make her grace straight. The crown hath sat on her and finds its Christian burial.
How can that be unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
Aye, 'tis counsel.
Well, it must be. It cannot be else. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues a point. It argues an act, and an act hath three. It is to do, to act, to perform. Therefore, she drowned herself wittingly.
Nay, but hear you.
Give me. Here lies the water. Look. Here stands the man. Look. If the man go to the water and drown himself, near he goes. Mark you that. If the water go to the man and drown him, he drowns not himself. He who is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life.
What is this law?
That is Crowner's quest law.
Will you have the truth on it? If this had not been a gentlewoman, she should have been buried without a Christian burial.
Why then thou sayest, in the more pity on the great folks of this world, countenance to drown or hang themselves. For there are no ancient gentlemen except for gardeners, diggers, and grave makers. I'll put another question to thee, and if thou answerest not to its purpose, confess thyself.
Go to.
Who is he that builds stronger than the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker for that outfit is 1,000 tales.
I like that wit well. The gallows do well, but how well do they? They do well to those that do ill. And thou dost ill to say that the gallows are built stronger than the church. The gallows will do thee well. To it again. Come.
Who built stronger than a mason, a shipwright, or a carpenter?
Tell me that.
Marry, now I can tell.
grave, for the houses he builds last until doomsday. Now, go to back into my. Oh. 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 In youth, what I did love, methought it was very sweet to contract the time with my behalf. Methought it was never meet.
Has this fellow no feeling in his business? He sings in grave making.
Custom hath made him a property of easiness.
Tis e'en so, the hand of little employment hath the daintier sense.
And in my demon staff have clocked me in its clutch, and has sent me in to the land. Oh, if I had never been such. Oh.
The skull had a tongue in it, and could sing once. Had the knave jowls it to the ground, as if it were Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. Why may not this be the pate of a politician, which this ass now o'erreaches? One that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Why might not this be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his cases, his tenures, and his tricks? Why does he suffer this mad knave now to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shovel? I will speak to this fellow.
Whose grave is this, sir?
Mine, sir.
I think it be thy leave, for thou dost lie.
You lie out on it, and yet it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie, for to be in it insane it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest. Will what woman or man must thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
Will what woman, then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
Sir, on that was a woman, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us.
How long hast thou been grave maker?
All the days in the year. Why, I came to it the very day King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long was that since?
Can you not tell? Every fool can tell that. Why, it was the very day that young Hamlet was born, went mad, and sent into England.
I'm married. Why was he sent into England?
Because he was mad. And if he'd not get better, it was no great matter.
Why?
Why, sir, the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Very strangely.
How strangely?
With losing his wits.
How long will a man lie on the earth ere he rot?
If it be not rotten before he dead, many a pocky corpses, man will lay in the earth some 8 or 9 years, tanner will last you 9.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned from his craft that it holds the water out, and waters sore decay of your horse and dead body. Like this skull. This skull has laid in the earth some 20 years.
Whose was it?
A horse and man fellow it was. Pestilence of a man. He once poured a flagon of relish on my head. This skull, sir, this very skull, is yours. The king's jester.
This.
That. Oh.
Alas. Poor Yorick. Have you commemoration? He was a fellow of infinite jest, a most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. And now how bored in my imagination is. My board lies in that.
Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own grimace. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked to this fashion in thee?
Even so.
And smelt so.
Even so, my lord!
To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why may not imagination trace the noble dust, till we find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere considered too curiously to consider so.
But soft, I hear the king, and the queen, and the courtiers. Who is this they follow? And with such maimed rites, this doth betoken that it did with desperate hand take its own life. 'Twas of some estate.
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, very noble.
What ceremony else?
The death was doubtful. You should have ground unsanctified this lodge till the last trumpet. For charitable prayers, sharpsons, and pebbles should be thrown on. Yet here she is allowed her virgin chance, her maid instruments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must no more be done?
No more be done. You should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem, and such as to her as to his parted soul.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be, when thou liest howling.
Fair Ophelia?
Sweet to the sweet. I thought thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride meant to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Hold off the earth wild flood upon her once more in mine arms.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis?
Devil, take thy soul!
Prithee, take thy hands from my throat, pluck them asunder.
My lord, be quiet!
Quiet! I will fight with them upon this theme until my eyelids no longer wag!
And my son wants things.
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with all of their quantity of love make up my son. What would thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes.
Love of God forbear me.
Show me what thou do. Would fight, would fast, would tear thyself. I'll do it. So stop coming into our face, me. I'll rant as well as thou.
If we are fat.
What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever. But it is no matter. Let him do what he may. The cat will mew, and the dog shall have his day.
I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last dance speech. We'll put the present matter to the push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son.
So much for this, sir. Now shall you see the other. You do remember all the circumstance.
Remember it, Mama.
Sir, in my soul, there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. So up from my cabin, groped I to find Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Stole their packet and returned to my own room again. My fears for getting manners unsealed their grand commission, where I found Horatio, royal, Knavery, an exact command, my head should be struck off.
Is it possible?
Here's the commission, read it at more leisure. Or wilt thou know how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. Wilt thou know the effect of what I wrote?
I did, my lord.
And in this conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, without debate of her, he should more or less those bearers put to sudden death.
How was it sealed?
Why, even that it was heaven ordinate. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of that Danish shield. Folded the writ up in the form of the other, gave the impression, placed it safely, the changeling never known. Now the next day was our sea fight, and what to this thou knowest already.
So Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it?
Well, their deaths are not near my conscience. Their defeat does by their own insinuations grow.
Why, what a king is this?
Why, he that had killed my king, whored my mother, caught between the election and my hopes, and thrown out his anger from my proper life.
Well, it must be known to the king that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern died in your place.
Indeed, sir, but I'm sorry that to Laertes I did forget myself, but surely the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace to cousin.
Your lordship is right. Welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost know this waterfly?
Nay, my lord.
Oh, thy state is the more gracious, but they say 'tis advice to me. He'd much land and fertile.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it with all the diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right use. 'Tis for the head.
I thank your lordship. It is very hot.
No, believe me. 'Tis very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But yet, methinks 'tis very hot and sultry for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord. It is very sultry, as 'twere I cannot tell how. My lord, his majesty bade me to signify to you that has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is...
I beseech you, remember.
Nay, good my lord, for my ease and good faith. Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of the most excellent differences, a very soft society and great showing. Indeed, to speak seldomly of him, he is the card or calendar of gentry. For you shall find him the continent of what courted gentlemen would see.
Sir, I take him to be a soul of great article.
Your lordship speaks most infallibly of him.
Why do we wrap our gentlemen in our more raw bread?
Sir?
Is it not possible to understand in another tongue? You will do it, sir, really.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes?
His purse is empty already. All golden words are spent.
Of him, sir.
I know you are not ignorant.
Oh, I would you did, yet if you did in faith, it would not much approve me. Well, sir.
No, you're not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
Oh, I do not confess that, lest should I compare with him in excellence. But to know a man well, were to know himself.
I mean, sir, for his weapon, but in the imputation laid on him by them, in his meed he is unfellowed.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons, but, well.
The king, sir, hath laid, sir, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits. If your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him if I can, and if I cannot, I gain nothing but my shame in a few odd hits.
Shall I deliver you so?
To this effect, sir, after what? Lord, your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
This blackbird went away with this shell on his head. You will lose, my lord.
I do not think it. Since he has been in France, I have been in continual practice. Thou wouldst not think about how ills here about my heart, but it is no matter.
For if you mind not obey it, I will forestall hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit.
Hamlet, come, take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong. But I have the vital nature, honor, and exception roughly awake. I will proclaim with madness. Was Hamlet the wrong man? Never Hamlet. He's madness.
You could be so free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot my arrow over the house
and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honor, I stand aloof, and will no reconcilement to keep my name ungored. But till that time, I do accept your offered love like love. You're not wrong.
Then I will his brother's later friendly play. Come, give us the foil.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil later, please, for in my ignorance your skills are like a star. In the darkest night, stick fiery out with thee.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager?
Very well, my lord. I'm afraid your grace has laid to odds at the weaker side.
Do not fear it. I have seen you both, and since he is bettered, we have therefore odds.
This likes me well. These foils have all a length.
Aye, my good lord.
The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup a union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings of Denmark in their crowns have worn. Come, the king drinks to Hamlet. Begin, and you, the judges, bear a weary eye.
Come, sir.
Come, my lord. A very palpable hit.
Hamlet is perfect with thine. Here's to thy health.
I'll play this bout first, set it by a while.
Come, sir. Well, again.
Our son shall win.
Stand his breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin and rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good, madam.
Gertrude! Do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon.
It is the voice of God. It is too late. Oh, I cannot drink yet, madam. By and by.
Let me rub thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I do not think it.
Yet it is almost against my conscience.
Come for the third laird. You do but dally. I pray you pass with your best violence. For fear you make a wanton of me.
Come on! Nothing another way. And that's enough!
Fuck them, they are incensed.
Nay!
Come again.
What should the Queen their home? Leave them both die. How is it, my lord? How is it, Laertes? It costs mine own spring master. I thusly killed by thine own treachery.
How does the Queen? She swoons to see them bleed.
No. The cup. The drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet. The drink.
Oh, let the door be locked. Treachery, seek it out.
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In me there is not half an hour's life. Thy mother's poison. I can no more. The king's to blame.
The point. Envenomed too. Then venom to thy wife. Here, thou incestuous, murderous, thou day, drink up this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother!
He is justly served. It is a poison attempted by himself. Exchange forgiveness with thee, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not on thee, nor thine on me.
Make me fearless. I follow thee. I'm better, Horatio. Wretched Queen. And you. You that look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or audience to this act. And I, but time! This fell sergeant dead to strictly his arrest. Oh, I could tell you, but let it be. I am dead, Horatio. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied. And in this harsh word, draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. Oh! If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, and sent thee from Felicity awhile, and in this harsh world, draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. Oh, I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite
occurs my spirit. The rest is silent.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.